about 3 minutes. Just waiting for everything to load.
Maybe it's just the internet tonight. Everything is just...
If I have a Hangout running, my internet's always slow. Okay, I just sent it to you, Susan.
Yeah, I haven't got it yet. Maybe that's what it is. No, usually mine doesn't run this slow. I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, it is working on.
Yeah, I'm still trying to click on it. I don't know what's going on here.
As soon as she posts it, we'll
It's the blue circles of death.
Let me
Oh, come on, let me open my Messenger Facebook. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not letting me do anything.
Okay, let me see if I can just post it.
Everything is just loading, loading, loading. No, I don't want to go to members. I just keep getting Facebook not responding.
Okay, I think I just posted it. Yeah, it's live.
Did it post?
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. I'm still loading. Okay, we can go ahead.
Coming to you live from Conroe, Texas, this is Reality Rules with Andrew Gibson and producer Mama S. Awesome. Here we go, guys. How are we doing tonight? After 2 long waited weeks, we finally got more Reelfoot. You asked, they delivered, and we got the mid-season finale with 2 vote-offs tonight. We are currently joined by Michael, the first person voted out. Actually, the second person voted out in tonight's episode. Ryan's supposed to be joining us tonight at some point. We're not sure kind of where he is yet, but he hopefully will hop on. If not, we will do another episode because we definitely want to get Ryan on and get his take on what happened. But we are first joined with Michael. Michael, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
No problem. Glad you made it. Glad you're here. We were sorry to see you go.
I was too.
Obviously, I mean, a lot of people had the heart and soul in this game, but you were the one that showed it the most. Like, I mean, you saw in everything you did that you were here to play, and you weren't only here to play, you were here to win. And I think I saw that through your actions more than anybody else's this season. So that was sad and sad to say. But before we get into it, before we get into game, before we get into all that craziness and nonsense, let us talk to you about who you are. Why don't you just kind of tell us a little bit, outside of Reelfoot, who is Michael?
Well, at the time, I guess I'm not really that different than I was in Reelfoot. I'm an easygoing person. I like to joke around, and I think a lot of that was shown, and a lot of it you got to see, like, as much as I don't want to admit it, like, you got to see a little bit of who I really was in my confessionals. I heard a lot of words like arrogance and cocky and stuff like that, but, I mean, the fact of the matter is I was just happy to be out there, and that's how I show it. And yeah,
and that definitely showed. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, you were there. You were there to win, and I didn't see it as much of an arrogant cockiness as more of an I saw it as just a love for the game, a passion for the game, a passion.
I saw
for
it as confident. I don't think it was arrogant or cocky.
Absolutely,
like
it was
that.
confident.
And you played well. I mean, you got outplayed in some maneuvers, and we'll get into that as we go. But I do think you played really, really well. Okay, so let's backtrack. Let's start from the very beginning. You arrive in Tennessee. You're there. I know you had this little sequester moment before the game starts. What's going through your head when you start to see who is showing up and who is going to be in this cast?
That was like the most interesting part, because we all got to meet each other, and we knew each other for about 24 hours before the game started. So we had all been like hanging out and talking, and that was like, I don't know, like the game started at that moment. The game started 24 hours
Absolutely.
before anybody saw anything. I know Amos doesn't like to hear it, but there was a lot of pre-gaming, people going off and talking. Jared was there, so I got to meet Jared, and I talked to him a lot. Like I just wanted to like pick his brain about what he thought about people and stuff like that. And so I also think that that contributed to Daniel thinking that I was his brother because I spent a lot of time with Jared before the
Right.
game. But really, it was a lot of talking, a lot of people just trying to get to know people. And it was just like a lot of thickness and like tension, and everybody was ready to get going, and it was one of like the coolest feelings ever, really.
So let's talk about that. Do you think the fact that you spent more time with Jared and less time connecting with other people was something that hurt you before the game started?
Well, not as I did spend time with Jared, but I like it was very like I knew that I wanted to start getting to know people, and I talked with everybody. Really, I mean, I got to know everybody at least a little bit, but there were a couple people that I already felt really solid with too.
So
Um,
if before the game started, based on that 24-hour period alone, if you could have picked your dream tribe and you could stack the tribes however you wanted, how would you have stacked the tribes?
okay, Maria, uh, Trevor, Bailey, Jeremy, Chantel. I guess that's five. Me, six.
That's good.
Those are really the people I got the best vibes from.
Yeah, absolutely. And I could kind of have predicted four of those. The Maria one surprised me a little bit, but again, we never saw you connect with Maria, so we don't know
Yeah.
what happened in that pregame phase. I'm not surprised you're not with Daniel. I'm not surprised you're not with Stacy.
Mm-mm.
I'm not surprised you didn't place any of those in there. But
Mm-mm.
like I said, I do want to get into that, and I do have a question already, but I'm going to save that question because I think it. Oh, my dog's barking. That's great. I think it fits in more when we get a little down the road. But I would still
Yeah.
want to start beginning of the game here. You get into your tribe. You find out who your official tribe is. What are your thoughts? Like, okay, what's your game plan day one? I mean, we see it, and we saw what happened in your confessionals, but I know there was more going on in your head that was actually aired on TV. So,
Yeah.
like, what do you think? As soon as you step on that mat, you see the tribe you're on, what are your thoughts?
Oh shit. Because literally, I mean, I said Chantel, but still I didn't connect with her that much. But because like I was the last one to go to the mat, and or one of the last, second to last,
Right.
and the entire time I was like, okay, Trevor's over there, Bailey's over there, Maria's over there, Jeremy's over there. I'm like, I got to be over there, and then I just get thrown on a mat with people that I mean I had talked to, but it was pretty much like square one all over again because I had the like game figured out in my head already. You know, like I had the people I wanted to work with, I had the people I didn't want to work with, and I ended up with people that I didn't connect with or didn't want to work with at all on my tribe. So it really was like square one all over again.
Okay, so again, I want to talk about the fact. What about Daniel and David? Like, did you figure that out
Oh no.
before? No. Okay, so you had no idea.
No. And if I did know, they wouldn't. Daniel would not have made the merge.
But
If
okay,
I
so
knew that he didn't tell people for a good reason, because I would not have let that happen.
but people started to figuring it out, and
Mhm.
they to this point still haven't acted on it. Like the minute I'm with you, the minute I find out that David's boyfriend's on the other tribe or Daniel's boyfriend's on the other tribe, Daniel's gone.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean,
And I don't see. I mean, Daniel's name wasn't even brought up once in today's that we saw.
yeah.
Tribal. So okay, so no, you had no idea, but do you think if you knew that information, you say he's gone, but people did know that information and they didn't act on it? Do you really think you could have made the move if you knew that information?
I think I could have made the move at the first tribal council. Any point after that, if I tried to make a move, I would have been just cut off, really. Because
So
you see that. Go ahead.
why do you think you got so isolated? Because it didn't just happen today. You've been isolated since the very first episode.
From the tribe?
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious to me. You had connections and you had people talking, yes, but it was kind of obvious to other people that they never really trusted you. From episode 1, they're like,
Yeah.
he's always got something going on. So why do you think that isolation existed so much?
I think there are a couple reasons. First of all, just generally, I didn't have a lot in common with the people on my tribe. Um, so like the people I connected with in the pregame were people that were like me. Like you could just look at each other and be like, okay, we're gonna get along. Like it was all kind of like people like that.
Right.
And that was just not the people on my tribe. And also, I'm a little bit like of an introvert. Like I'm not the kind of person that's gonna be in your face like all the time. And I knew that was gonna be like one of my biggest weaknesses out there. Um, so yeah, that was a factor. And also, it drove me crazy whenever they said I was looking for the idol, because I did look for the idol, but I was so careful about it. And when the times that they thought I was looking for the idol, and I have a nicotine dependency, so I was told that I could smoke down by the pond. So that's what I did.
Right.
And every single time before I went to go smoke, I'd say, all right, guys, I'm going down to the pond and I'm going to smoke. And I would stand in the open where everybody could see me. But I knew that they were talking about me every time I left, because one time in particular, I hear Tristan, because it's in speaking distance. I mean, you could see me. And I hear Tristan say, why is he down there looking for that idol? I'm just like, are you kidding me? I was just like, I literally just don't want to turn into Shane Powers. Like, I just want to have a smoke break. So it was a bunch of stuff like that.
From this week. You could be digging up trees and then getting mad at people for cutting them down. We got a question from Jeremy. He said, he wants to know when you knew that you and him would be such great bros.
Second I saw him.
The second
tank top, maybe. We both had tank tops on, and I was like, all right, it's over.
Awesome. Okay.
And he's kind of like quirky like I am. Like he'll wear like silly stuff, and like I was just like, all right, this guy's cool.
Episode 1 and 2, I got you confused a lot. I won't lie. Like there was some definite comparisons there. So there's still a lot to get to in tonight's episode, but I still have to go back a couple weeks. Let's talk about this idol that Stacy found.
Mm-hmm.
And that you dug through her bag and uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even a real idol.
Yes.
So, what made you originally think Stacy had the idol?
Well, she looked for it all the time, and she would look for it openly, which was so weird to me. Like, we'd all be like sitting around talking, and she'd like get up and walk away and kind of like wander around, and then you see her in a bush, and I'm just like, okay, she's looking for the idol. And then there was a point, I guess it was after the Nathan vote, where Daniel is also doing the same thing. He just starts looking for the idol, like in front of everybody. And I just went up to him and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I just think we need to find this idol as a tribe, and we need to like, get it and take it to the merge and take down the other side. And so we all started looking, except for Stacy. Stacy was just sitting there. We were all looking for the idol, but she would not get up and even pretend that she didn't have it. So I was like, it's like a free excuse to look for the idol, and she wasn't taking it like she was before when there wasn't a free excuse. You know what I mean? So it was like all those factors. I was like, okay, she has the idol. Like it was just obvious to me. I didn't even have to look. I knew she had it.
And I mean, you are sitting there and she has the idol, and she's there and she has the idol, and I'm a viewer cracking up because she doesn't have the idol.
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of this game and this move that has been made, and David played it perfectly. Mm-hmm. I mean, drawing it and dropping it right at the challenge.
Oh, and looked like it was such a good-looking idol too. Like when I looked at it, I was like, okay, this is definitely an idol. Because season 1, I believe the idols were like Tiki Torch. Hold on a second. I'm talking to somebody. They were like Tiki Torch bottle caps or bottle openers.
Uh-huh.
And this one was like carved, and it had our tribe name on it, and it said idol, and it had like a little rope attached to the bottom. I was like, this is the realest idol I've ever seen.
Susan, we need to ask Amos if we can get a picture of that idol to put on our Facebook page.
Okay, I'll work on that.
I'm sure he has one. I want to see a closer image of this idol. So she has the fake idol. What makes you say, okay, here's what I want to know. What makes you say I'm gonna look through her bag, and how did you go about it? Like, how were you uncovered? How did people figure out that you went? Did they see you do it, or did they not know you went through the bag until you said, hey, I went through a bag and I found the idol?
No. Okay, so I went up to Daniel and Jessica during that idol search, and I was like, look at her. She has the idol. She's just sitting there. She has a free excuse to look for it. She's not taking it. It's in her bag. So we were looking for a little longer, and she goes off to do a confessional. And the three of us were talking about it, and I brought up the idea of just looking in her bag. And they liked the idea, but I knew that they weren't going to do it. So I was like, okay, I'll do it, but I need you guys to have my back. I need you to watch and we came up with like a whistle in case she was coming, and like we had it all planned out. So I went up there and I rifled through her bag. It was at the very bottom, wrapped in a shirt, and I came back down and I was like, I found the idol. It's in her bag, and I don't. I don't remember. Maybe I offered to show them, or maybe they asked to see it. But one way or another, I was like, once I was telling them, I was like, they probably don't even believe me. So I was like, it's at some point we ended up back at camp, and then Chantel and Nathan followed, and I opened up the bag and I pulled it out and I showed all of them. I was like, there it is. She has it. Like, I don't have it. She has it. So, I mean, really, it was like clearing my name because I knew Nathan told me that they thought I had it. So it was really important for them to see that I wasn't lying to them, that I would go out of my way to maybe even hurt my game to prove to them that I was loyal and I wasn't lying and that I wasn't with Stacy or anything else, really.
So in that whole process, it was meant to make Stacy look like the bad guy. I mean, not the bad guy, but she has the idol. She's hidden the idol. She's not working with it. What
it was to
went
take the
wrong?
target off my back.
But it put the target on your back. What went wrong there? Why, at the end of the day, did Stacy kind of look scot-free a little bit, and you were the bad guy? How did that formulate more?
I hate to say it, but Jessica turned me into the bad guy. I mean, that's what happened. And she did that in her confessionals. She did that to Stacy. It really makes me mad. Like, I mean, I'm pretty easygoing. Like, I could watch it. Like, and I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed it as Survivor. Like, it was fun to see myself get voted out. But it wasn't fun to see Jessica lie in confessional saying that she had no part in this me looking for the idol. Because not only is she just like shitting on me more than she already has, but it's just a lie. Like I hated that.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Jessica. I think she's playing a decent game, and I think I like her gameplay in that aspect. Brandon Billy wants to know why you were always in your underwear.
Because it was hot. A lot of people gave me crap for wearing my underwear in the challenge, but like if you saw Nathan, like he was just like covered in mud after that challenge, and I was like I'm gonna save my clothes because I plan on being here for 7 days, and I'm not gonna get them gross. Like, so what? I'll just throw off my pants and walk around. You know, it's not a big deal.
So you were an appropriate version of Richard Hatch.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll take that. I was a censored Richard Hatch.
Version of Richard Hatch. Okay, let's get into tonight's episode and what exactly went down and how everything went down. And let's start with, I warned you this was going to happen, what is the heck with this? Explain to me this idol clue, because I am confused as all get out. I messaged Susan, and Susan's like, I don't know exactly. Let me ask Amos. And Amos said to ask you. Explain to me where this idol clue came through. Did you write it? Did Tristan write it? Did what the heck is this clue on tonight's episode?
So this is after the challenge. I mean, I know it showed some before, but this all happened after the challenge. And I had decided that I was going to act sad and everything. So I went over by the pond and I kicked over that bucket. And I found like this crumbled up piece of notebook paper. And I opened it up and it was written in like 5th grader's handwriting. And I was just like, what is this? And the clue was I remember the grammar being wrong. And also it said turn around under one of the 2 trees, which I turned around and there were 3 trees behind me. So I was like, okay, what is this? This is not a real idol clue. And the only thing I could think was, okay, like Tristan wrote this just because, I mean, he had the worst handwriting out of everybody. So I was like, who would do, like, I don't know why he would have done it, but that was my actual thought process. So I pulled everyone over and I showed them, like, I don't know why somebody's doing this, but just so you know, this is going on. This is a thing now. But I found out after the game that was a real idol clue.
So
it was planted and written by Jared Updike, my brother.
Wow. So the whole clue was the real clue, and I kind of thought that was the case because of how the editing was, like zooming in on that afterwards. It didn't completely go through that.
Well, let me add something else because the game is like. Everything was done really well. Like tree mail was printed out on computer paper and cut out with scissors and in Survivor font. So when you look at our tree mail, you would assume that like an idol clue would look the same, but it was literally the exact opposite.
If you think you knew that was the actual clue, do you think you would have found the idol?
No, because I was looking for it anyways and I didn't find it.
Okay. So that clue wouldn't have helped you enough to have discovered where this idol was.
No, it was hidden hard, and I didn't. I thought that Stacy's idol was real. So when I was looking for the idol at the end of
Right.
the episode, it was just me like acting like I had no other options. Uh,
Right. Yeah. Sorry, my wife is trying to sign
oh, you're
language to
fine.
me. So you lose the challenge. Tristan wins. Do you think if Tristan loses the challenge, Tristan would have gone home, or do you think it would have been same scenario?
I'd like to. That was when Tristan won immunity. My head just dropped because I felt that was my best in because he wasn't. Well, he was in Daniel's alliance, but he wasn't in my alliance that I had made with Daniel. So from the way I was looking at it, Tristan was the only one who didn't have an idol that was outside of our alliance. So
Right.
when he won immunity, I was like, I felt like I was done, honestly.
But do you think that if he lost it, he would have gone?
It's just so hard to say. I think he would have. Yeah, Jessica says she would have planned on doing it. I think Daniel mentioned it. I think it probably would have happened, but there's no telling. It's hard to say that stuff.
Because and we say that too, but Tristan was targeted every single tribal council. Like
Yeah,
when
that's
y'all
right.
went to tribal, he was targeted. His name was thrown around.
Well, here's the
since
thing.
he won.
No, never mind. I don't want to say that.
Okay.
First tribal council, we just agreed that we were not going to vote Tristan out. Like no matter what happened, we were not going to vote Tristan out. So yeah, Coleman knew that, but the entire tribe was in the majority that Tristan was staying with our group. He was sent from the other tribe. He had a rough start. We felt bad for him, and we were going to protect him, and we agreed on that. So he was in consideration, but he was never going home that first vote. I don't think he could have gone home the second vote. I think we had the same thought process.
So let's get
They
into the
did.
vote then. Tristan wins immunity. You get back. Break it down for me. What happens? But I mean, we saw it on TV. What's going through your head? Why do you think you were the fall person? Why didn't Stacy play the idol? What happens? Get it out. This is your time to speak.
So we're talking at tribal council, right?
From I want to know about from the point the challenge ended to the point
Oh, okay.
that the votes were read. So the whole process. Bring me through it all.
Okay, I remember it vividly because I knew I was screwed. And Jessica and once we got back, Jessica and Stacy were already talking, and I just went up to them and I was like, "Listen, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just give me a name and I'll write it down. Like I just wanted to make myself available to everybody in case if there was something that they wanted to do. I wanted them to come to me." And then I went and talked with Daniel, and pretty much what he laid out for me is like, you just need to pretend like you're going home. And I don't know if he had decided before tribal council if he was gonna take me out, but it almost if he did decide that he was gonna take me out, it was brilliant because he got me not to strategize, and that's exactly what I did. I went and I looked for the idol a little bit. I sat around. I literally said my goodbyes to people. I gave Stacy a hug, and I was like, it was fun playing with you. I know I'm going home. I did the same with Chantel. I did it. It was all for appearances to make Stacy feel safe so we could vote her out. I thought it was going to be the biggest blindside of the pre-merge game.
So walking into tribal, did you think you were going?
No. Honestly, it was a blindside. It really was. And I said I was going home, but again, that was literally I was just blowing smoke,
So with that being said, somebody asked if you had found the idol. Jorge asked if you had found the idol before going to tribal, would you have used it?
I don't know. I don't know. That's such a hard question.
No, it is.
Because I think I would have. I say that I felt safe, but I think I would have done it.
So if you found the idol, and we're talking hypotheticals here, I understand that, but if you found the idol, do you think you would have questioned Stacy's idol, or you would have just thought there were two?
Well, I would think that I found a super idol or something. I don't know what. I really maybe if I saw the idol and I realized that my idol looked better than hers, that I would maybe put it together. But I don't know. It's another hard one to answer.
Another question, and I don't know who it came from. Susan might be able to tell me. If you made it to merge, would you have stuck with your tribe, or would you have flopped?
I like to make my tribe feel bad for voting me out, but the fact of the matter is I would have flipped.
Yeah.
After that Nathan vote, I was flipping 100%. Tribe swap merged. They were done. I was gonna vote them all out. I hated them all. Like it made me so mad. Nathan was
Which
my
would have been
boy.
interesting because
Yeah.
David would have flipped.
Yeah,
Or-
that's the thing. And I think I would have gone to the other tribe and I would have said, listen, they screwed me over. They've lied to me. They've ratted me out. They've treated me like shit. I've given them my loyalty and they pretty much spat it out back in my face. So I'm offering my vote to your tribe. And then Daniel or David would have heard about it and he would have told Daniel and I would have been first boot at the merge. Because that's what would have happened.
Speaking of Nathan, your boy asked a question. He wants to know, would you have done anything different if you were to ever play again, and would you ever play again?
Oh, I would play again. That's not the hard question.
Right.
I just got a bad rap, you know. I really
agree.
believe that. I really gave my loyalty to a certain group of people, and they didn't buy it. For whatever reason, they didn't buy it. You know, Coleman came to me and asked me for an alliance like that first day, and I literally went and told Daniel immediately. And I told him who was in his alliance, who he thought he had, and who we need to make sure that we had in order to vote him out. You know, everything that I did, I went back to Daniel, and because he was my ally. To me, he was my ally until he voted out Nathan.
And he's really just the puppet master.
I guess so. I hate to say it, but
And, you know, I agree with you though, Michael. I keep very good notes throughout every episode I watch, and as I'm going, and through almost every one of episodes, I have Michael, fall guy, took the fall. Michael took the blame. Michael took the blame. That's posted several times in my notes, and it happened. Every time something went wrong, it's like you were the easiest person to blame, and that's just what they did.
and it really was just small factors. Like I said, like me going off to smoke, or like me not being the loudest person at camp, like just being reserved. I believe that all that contributed to things that I also did that weren't very smart. But I do believe at the same time from the beginning there were people on my tribe that was not having me at all. Like
Absolutely.
it wasn't happening.
So brings up the last hypothetical I want to talk about. If you switched instead of Ryan, and you joined the other tribe, what do you think would have happened?
I would have won the game. I would have won the game because, like I said, my entire pre-merge alliance was on the UT tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was over there, I think that, and it's hard to say because I thought about it. It's like if I was with those three bros over there, like they were so like they were in disarray the entire time. Like Trevor's trying to target Jeremy and Jeremy, so on and so forth. But I feel like, and what I did well in my alliance was I felt like I was pretty, obviously not really good, but pretty good at like bringing people together and like helping people see the bigger picture. And I think I could have like really helped the guys over there stay together and not target each other and trust each other. And I think that I would have probably done significantly better over there.
I just got some info. It turns out that to answer your question, Daniel did not decide to vote you out until at Tribal Council. It says if you look on and for everybody to know, if you look on the Survivor Reelfoot webpage, there is a secret scene up on the page.
You can also look in the comments under the interview. George posted the link there also.
Okay, so Jorge posted on the links under the interview.
Yes.
There's a secret scene about Daniel deciding that he did not decide to cast a vote for you until at Tribal Council.
You know, I want to believe that. And you know what? I love Daniel is like the greatest guy ever. Like he's just Mr. Perfect. Like in the real world, like he has nothing bad to say about anybody. He's such a good Survivor player. But with that being said, I would like to officially say that Daniel is the biggest pre-merge villain.
Why? Do you want to put any warrant behind that?
Because of the promises he made people and how easy it was for him to cut them off. He got really close with Coleman. They slept next to each other and talked the entire night. And it was just so easy for him to vote him out. Nathan, too. He pulled him into our alliance. He made him feel safe, blindsided him. Same thing with me. He told me up till the very second, you're not going home. You know, don't do any strategizing. You're good. Just pretend like you're not going home. And he just voted me out. And you know what? He's a great Survivor player and a great guy, but he's the biggest villain in the pre-merge.
Do you think that is coming across true in the edit?
No. Because he's good at what he does, you know. But if you think about it, I guess it's hard to say because you guys have only seen so much. But when I saw him act with people, and then saw how easy it was for him to just cast them aside, It was, I don't know. I
Because
never targeted professionals. I joked about it. Me and Nathan had a brief discussion about what we would do at a Final Five. Other than that, I never targeted anybody in my alliance. It was unheard. Like it wasn't going to happen with me. Yeah, and
Because
that was
every
something.
one of my interviews, I always end with a word association game where I say one word or one name, and you put the first word that pops up in your head. And I think if we pulled half of the viewers, 3/4 of the viewers watching this game, I don't think anybody would say villain when they heard Daniel's name.
No. Nope.
Because he doesn't come across that way by himself. He doesn't come across that way in the edit. I mean, even if his actions, he's doing it with a smile. Daniel's playing,
Yeah.
I think, an amazing game.
Yeah, he is.
Because if he's being a villain, it's not coming across to the viewers or even the players as a villain. I mean, he said his boyfriend's in the game, and people were like, "Oh, yay!"
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I think that we might even get to see more of that from him.
Brandon Billy agrees. He said, "I agree. I agree that Michael. I agree with Michael that he does come off as a villain." And Stacy just said it's all about the edits. It's all about those kind of things.
She loves the edit, man. She loves that word. She loves to use that word. I love Stacy.
She's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's great. Okay, so let's get into the word association. I'm gonna say some names and some things, and you just tell me
one word. Do I have to do one word?
Keep it as close to one word as possible. Nobody has ever really done my one word. I mean, even when it's not people from Reelfoot, when we bring in other things going on. Jorge says, in a confessional edit right before Tribal Council, you were asked what else could you do so that you don't get voted out, and you said, I could turn on Daniel. Why did you not turn on him? What could you have done? Stacy also said she loves you too.
Why didn't I turn on Daniel? It would have been stupid then. Everybody was with Daniel. Like I couldn't go to anybody. I couldn't go to one person on my tribe and say I want to vote out Daniel. It'd be okay. It would have gone straight back to Daniel, and I would have been gone for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could not have gotten the number. I couldn't have gotten one number to vote out Daniel.
So let's try to keep it as close to one word as possible, but you can you can stray a little bit. Everybody does. So
Okay.
We'll start a little easy. Tennessee.
Home.
Or do you live in Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm from Nashville.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's talk. Would you Survivor?
Love.
Amos.
Adore.
Okay. Stacy.
Honest. Sweetheart.
Trevor.
Badass. Badass guy.
Coleman.
Kiss ass.
Nathan.
Homeboy.
Jessica.
Mutual disrespect.
Idle clues.
Where are the real ones? That's what I'm wondering.
Daniel.
Villain. The villain.
David.
Stupid idol maker. Why did he have to do that?
And we'll get to that again in a second because I wanted to ask that. And then I lost my last. Maria.
Warm-hearted.
Yeah, she was one of my favorites from the very beginning. Just not gameplay necessarily because I do think she's playing a decent game. We'll get into that when she gets on. But she is playing a she is playing a Sandra Diaz game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that's if I see Susan, do you not agree with that? You're kind of smiling shyly.
Yeah, I do.
Maria's playing like a Sandra, and it so far it's working. We'll see. Okay, final two questions, and then we'll let you have some thoughts, last-minute thoughts and things that you want to say. When you were voted out, I know you know what has happened. You stayed around, you were hung out. But don't reveal any of that. From the point when you were voted out, who did you think was the next to go, and who did you think was going to win?
I thought Daniel would win, and I thought that Stacy was still at the bottom.
And if the merge does happen next, and you would have survived that one vote, do you think that one vote in a merge would have changed your game and propelled you to the end?
Like I said, I probably would have gone to the other side and tried to vote out Daniel, and it
And
would have
would
blown
that-
up in my face.
It would have blown up in your
I
face.
would have been out. I would have. I'd like to say that I would have liked to make the merge, but really all I would have done is lasted one more vote. I would have blown up my own game. That's the truth. It's the truth.
Because of David.
Yeah, because I had no idea.
And Stacy said she would have voted Daniel out if you came to her.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's what I did. And I never wanted to say that I wanted to vote out Daniel, but I went up to Jessica and Stacy, and like I said earlier, I was like, my vote is yours. If you want to do something tonight, come talk to me. That's what I said. And they said, okay. And I went and sat by the pond, and they didn't talk to me until Stacy came and looked for the idol with me. Which, by the way, I just want to say, Stacy is getting a bad rap on the show. She was the only person out there that was completely real with me. You know, we were never in an alliance together, but whenever we talked, and we did talk strategically, we'd have a mutual understanding and respect for each other, and she was always honest with me. And before she was gone, she came up to me, and she was teary, and she gave me a big old hug, and she said that she really didn't want to do it. And I just think Stacy's awesome, so I think we're that.
Good. Is there anything else? This is your Reelfoot cast-off. Anything else you want to say going out? You want to leave to the players, to Amos, to the viewers, to anything you want to say to wrap this thing up for you?
Thank you for all the support I got from all the fans and from the other players, and thank you for Amos for this incredible experience that is unlike anything besides the actual show. It was the greatest experience of my life. Jorge for giving me an edit that I don't think I necessarily deserved. I had way too much screen time, but I'm incredibly happy and blessed by it. And thank you to Andrew and Susan for doing this and making it feel like that much step closer to the real thing. So thank you to everybody. I have nothing but gratitude and thanks, and I guess that's it.
We're junkies. We enjoy it. You wouldn't be surprised how many times it's 2 or 3 in the morning and me and Susan are Facebooking about something happening in reality television. It happens almost nightly. Wouldn't you agree, Susan?
Oh, yeah. I mean, something can't happen on a show. We're like, no, we're 5 minutes behind. Just wait a minute.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate you, Michael. We are our plan is when this wraps up and when we have the finale, we're going to bring the whole cast in groups on to calls and do a reunion episode. So we hope we can have you back then when
Firework,
we do it.
baby.
Oh, yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. So thank you very much.
There.
Sorry you got voted out, and we'll look forward to talking to you then. A couple of quick announcements.
Thank you, guys.
Ryan, thank you. Ryan said that he is free tomorrow. He had some computer issues tonight, so we will figure out a time with him and do an episode with Ryan tomorrow night. And we will be back it is 8:47. Let's say 9:15. Are you cool with that, Susan?
Yeah, I'm good with 9:15.
So 9:15 Central Time, 10:15 Eastern, and we will be doing our org wrap-up of the week episode. We're having Will on. He won Big Brother House Divided this week, and we're going to have a panel on as we break down I don't even know what number it is, the 5th, 8th, 9th, the annual org awards. We're going to break
15,
those nominations
14.
down. 14th, and say who should vote for who. So we'll be back in 30 minutes with that. If you want to be involved in that episode at all, message Susan in the next 30 minutes. Stay real, stay reality, don't get voted out, and we'll see you here in a minute. Thanks, guys.